Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today I wanted to share my entire Hermes collection. I just recently shared my entire Chanel collection and I've gotten some requests to do my Hermes collection next, and here I am. I think you can see some notable differences between my Hermes collection versus my Chanel collection. It's a lot smaller. It's also a lot more colorful than my Chanel collection. Just like I did in my other collection video, I will go by different categories of items. So I'll start with bags, shoes, and so on. And I will share all the pieces that I have in my collection. I will also share some pieces that I have parted ways with and rehomed. There aren't that many, but there are a few that you may have seen in an older collection video that aren't part of my collection today. I'll be putting all of the details for every single item down in the description box. Hermes isn't quite like Chanel where they have like the style numbers necessarily, or at least I don't really know them all the time. But I will add as much detail as I can for each of the items. So please check out the description box down below. I'm gonna do that instead of putting the on-screen descriptions in hopes of saving some time. I also have my handy notebook here. In each of the categories this time, I will go in chronological order because I don't have as many items. It's easier for me to remember which item I acquired first. So I'll go in chronological order and I might share a little bit about each of the item, but in the interest of time, I will probably blaze through them. I will link any other related videos down below. I have a lot of follow-ups. I have a lot of videos like on my Birkin. I have a lot of videos on my Picotin and things like that. So I will definitely be linking all of those in the description box as well. So please check that out. So starting with handbags, the very first Hermes bag I added to my collection is actually this vintage Vespa right here. I have talked about this, I think in my last collection video, which is like about 2 years old now. Also in like a pre-loved, why I love pre-loved items video, but this is an Hermes Vespa. It is a discontinued style, but by looking at it, you can see it's very, very similar to the current day Evelyn in the TPM size. This is also in the TPM size. It is in a gorgeous, I think it's like the signature orange color from Hermes with Palladium hardware. It does not have a detachable strap. It's attached and the back is pretty plain. I picked this up from eBay. It was a Japanese seller on eBay. And I think I mean, all things considered, I feel like I got a really great deal on it. I really like this bag because it's not as common as the Evelyn. I like that it has a lot less branding on it. The only downside of this bag in my mind is really the fact that because the toggle is here, the capacity you could fill the bag is realistically here. So it's a very, very, very small bag. It's hard for me to take it out when I know I'm going to be out and about, need a lot of errands and need my sunglasses and a lot of extra things. So I take these when I know I'm just hopping out really quickly and coming back because I don't need to carry as many things when I do that. But other than that, I love this pop of orange. I love the really signature orange color that it has. And I really like the classic silhouette to it as well. I think I picked that up in 2017, the beginning of 2017. The next bag I added to my collection was this Picotin 18. This is from 2018. I believe the Magnolia color was a spring-summer 2018 color from Hermes. It is the Magnolia pink in the Clemence leather. It has Palladium hardware, you can see down there. And it is the smallest size, so the Picotin 18. I think I already said that. I picked this up from the Waikiki boutique in Hawaii when I went with a girlfriend a couple of years ago, and I just fell in love with this size and this pop of color. It was a really pretty pink. It's almost like a magenta fuchsia pink, which I really like. I can carry this pretty much all year round, but it definitely shines the most in the spring summer because it adds such a really pretty pop of color. Additionally, in 2018, I also acquired this Hermes Petit H bag. It is a silk bag. I had a whole video on this as well, and like the whole concept behind the Petite H line, but it's a really cute silk bag, and it just looks like this. It kind of looks like a UFO, so I kind of call it the UFO bag. And this is just really good. It's really nice for traveling because it can fold up to be really small. And then I like to use this again for really quick errands when I know I don't have to carry a lot of things with me. But it's a really cute concept. And it's a really cute bag to have. And look at how like practically takes up no space. And last but not least, of course, is my Birkin. This is a Birkin 30. It is in the yellow color called Jaune, Ambre. And it is also in Clemence leather with Palladium hardware. I added this to my collection last year, also from the Waikiki boutique. This is a very special bag for me. I was very excited to be able to add this to my collection from the boutique, and I definitely have a ton of other videos that go into the details of this bag, so I'm not going to belabor that point, but this is also in my collection. If you've been watching my videos for a while, or you've seen my previous collection video, you will notice that I don't have a particular red bag. I had a pre-loved Birkin 30 in a red color in my collection as well. I believe I got that in 2017, and I actually rehomed that, or I sold it when I added the yellow Birkin to my collection. There was nothing wrong with the bag. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous, deeper red color. Not quite Bordeaux. It was a true red, but it wasn't a bright red. It was a little bit more of an earthy tone red. I think Rouge Garance was the name of the red color, and it also had Palladium hardware. It was a type of leather that I don't believe they really make a lot of Birkins in that leather anymore. So it still had its structure. It had contrast white stitching on it. It was a gorgeous bag, and I absolutely loved it. But I decided to part ways with it because I did get another Birkin 30. I felt like they both just overlapped a little bit too much for me to be able to maintain both in my collection, not to mention I was also running out of space. So I decided to part ways with that bag. But again, there was nothing wrong with the bag. I wanted to keep both of them, but it just didn't make sense for me to have both Birkins in my collection. Moving on to shoes. I don't have a ton of shoes from Hermes, but I do have a pair that I've raved about on my channel a lot. And my absolute favorite pair of shoes from Hermes are actually the Oran Sandals. You'll see that they have their stuffing in them because I just brought them out from their box. But the Oran Sandals are by far my favorite shoe from Hermes. These I got in 2017 at the Paris airport duty free, and I loved this like metallic silver color. I want to say it's Epsom leather because it's really, really sturdy, and I've worn these a ton over the years, and you don't see like any crease marks on the leather either. I am a huge fan of the Oran sandals. I love them. I almost want to add them in like every color in my collection, but I also know that's excessive. I definitely wear my Oran sandals a lot. I consider them to be one of my best luxury purchases ever, and I'm super stoked to have these in my collection. My next pair of shoes are these lovely pair. I have yet to actually wear them outside, but they're the Kennedy loafers in a wonderful white calfskin, and I purchased these October 2019. I purchased them from the Hermes sale, and yes, you heard me correctly, you can get Hermes on sale. I shared my whole adventure going to the Hermes sale and picking these up, so I will link that video so that you can check out more details there. But these are definitely a pair that I look forward to wearing this spring and summer. Once I'm able to freely move about outside, you best be assured that I will be wearing these on my feet. Moving on to SLGs, this is going to be a really quick category because I only have one item. That one item is this compact Bearn wallet that I have in lipstick pink and gold hardware. I picked this up in 2017 at the Chicago boutique. I just walked in one day. I didn't have a relationship with any of the SAs. I just walked in with a friend. What I originally wanted to get was actually the Bearn card case, but the SA who was helping me actually brought out all the compact wallets, and I fell in love with this color. I decided to get it because I don't have a full-size wallet really, and this is the only full-size wallet that I have. Again, I have a couple videos going into more detail about this, so I would check those out for more detail, but I have had this in my collection and I've used it every day since 2017. There are definitely some marks on it. There's some love marks on it, I like to call them. But I thoroughly enjoy using this wallet, and I don't have the urge to get another one. I'm pretty satisfied with this wallet as my main full-size wallet. I will now move on to accessories. I have a few pieces to share here. The first piece I ever got was a Clic, Clac H bracelet, so the thinnest Clic, Clac bracelets that they have. It was in the classic black enamel gold hardware. I got it in the GM size, which ended up being too large for me, and because of that, I sold it. I rehomed that item, and then you'll see I have something else instead. But that was the very first Hermes costume jewelry piece that I ever owned. The second, but the first that I have and still in my collection, is this item right here. It is the dog tour, the mini dog tour, I believe that's what it's called. I bought this in 2017. I think it was right when this style was very first launched, because I had never seen it before. I hadn't seen anybody talk about it, but I really liked how it had that slight like funky edge to it with the closure, but it still was a very classic and feminine looking piece overall. I have it in the Bordeaux Swift leather with the gold hardware, and I know they have versions where they have like studs going all the way around it. I was contemplating getting one of those because there was one that was mixed metals with gold and silver studs. I like to mix my metals. I thought that would be perfect, but I thought it was just a little bit too loud for me. So I landed with the more classic Bordeaux and gold hardware combination, and I really like wearing this. It's very seamless and it's very, very comfortable on the wrist, and like all of their leather pieces, they do kind of stretch a little bit over time, so I would lean on getting one that's a little bit more snug fit because it will stretch. Then the next item and the first exotic piece that I ever added to my collection is actually this Rivale double tour, and it is in, oh goodness, I don't know how to pronounce this color. I will write it here, the name of the color. When I hear someone say it properly, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, that's what it would sound like. And then when I try to say it, I can't. It almost looks like the same color as my lipstick, Funny, which is actually also the Hermes lipstick in Coral Fou. It's like the limited edition coral color they come out with, and I just see that it looks very, very similar. So it's like that kind of coral color and silver hardware. It is a lizard piece, and I absolutely love this. It fit pretty snug, but I have to say, in the time that I've worn it since October of 2019, I have been able, I feel that this has stretched. I can feel it being looser than when I first tried it on. So again, when you get their leather bracelets, I would definitely err on the side of a snugger fit because it will ease up over time very quickly. And the last accessories piece I have in my collection is actually this Clic H bracelet. It's also a score from the Hermes sale. I know I keep referencing the Hermes sale, but I did end up getting some really awesome pieces from it, and it is in the rose velour and rose gold hardware. It is a really gorgeous color. I was more interested in getting the medium size, this thickness, rather than going back to the really skinny size. I think on my wrist, unless I'm going to be stacking it with a lot of other pieces, I feel like the Clic H is a better size for me to be able to wear on its own, which is why I love having this piece. And it is in a gorgeous pink color that is perfect for pretty much all year round. It's not too bright. It's a little bit dulled. It's a little muted. So I think it's easier to wear all year round. So now I'll move on to silks and twillies. So the first twilly that I ever purchased was actually this one that's on my Picotin. I will try to find a picture, but it was the playing cards print that they came out with. I want to say 2017, but it might be 2018, one of those years. I just really liked how whimsical it was to have playing cards on a scarf. So I picked it up in a twilly. At the time, I thought I would use it on the red Birkin that I had, but I ended up not not really wearing the Birkin with a Twilly ever, and it just sat in my closet. That's when I was like, okay, I won't really buy Twillys anymore because I don't seem to be using them very often. It was not all in vain. It sat in my closet for a year or two, and then when I purchased my Picotin, I realized it was the perfect color combination to put on this bag, so it's found a new home and a new purpose. The next silk piece is actually a pocket square. My boyfriend actually got this for me for Valentine's Day in 2018. So it's this little pocket square here. I like folding this up and either wearing it around my neck or around my wrist as kind of like an extra accessory. And I just really liked the colors on this pocket square. This is the FSH flagship store design. So I don't know if you can see, it says like Hermes, like it's the store. So this design was really cute, and that's why my boyfriend got it for me for Valentine's Day that year. And then I have one other pocket square. This one's actually more like a vintage pre-loved item, and it just has the Hermes logo on a dusty rosy pink color. My boyfriend found online, I think he found it on eBay, and it was a really excellent price. It wasn't very expensive at all. He also got this for me with the intention of a set of projects that I was going to do at the time. I still haven't gotten around to doing them, unfortunately, but I still have an aspiration to do them one day. So I'm holding on to this to realize that vision, but that's why I have this pocket square. The next silk items are going to be the Twillys that are on my Birkin. I don't know if I ever took a picture of those Twillys without them being wrapped on my bag, but I will try to find a photo of them, if not of one that's very similar. But it's the Rainbow Jungle Love Twilly from 2019. I purchased them when I was purchasing my bag to use as Twillys to protect the handles. I bought two of those because there are two handles on the Birkin, and I knew that these were going to be Twillys that pretty much lived on the Birkin, so I decided to just get two from the get-go instead of having one and then trying to find another one later. After that, the next piece I have is actually my first cashmere scarf from Hermes, and you can see it is in the very, very large size. I will try to insert a picture of me holding up this whole scarf, but it has a beautiful tiger on it. I picked this up from the Hermes sale as well. I know. I scored a lot of really good things during that sale, but I picked this up from there. This was literally the last one. I saw it because I saw a lady who was trying it on, and I actually really liked the print. So I asked her, you know, if she wasn't going to take it, and she's more than welcome to take it, but if she wasn't going to take it, if she didn't mind letting me see this particular scarf afterwards. And she just looked at me and she was like, oh, okay, sure. And then she like gave it to me. So I'm really thankful that she gave it to me that way. But I really like this scarf. It is a very, very warm scarf, but I love the tones on it. I like that it's not super bright and like crazy, but I also like that there's like a whole giant cat on it as well. I'm not really a cat person, not that I don't like cats, but I'm much more of a puppy and dog person. But cats have definitely grown on me over the years. Speaking of cats, actually this scarf reminded me, I have another scarf, a very, very special scarf that I picked up in 2018. So I messed up my little chronological order, sorry. I will actually share what it looks like. I have it framed and on the wall, which is why it's harder for me to show you here. It was from the Carré Club that happened in New York City, September of 2018, I want to say. And that was a very special embroidered edition that they made for the Carré Club in New York City. I absolutely fell in love with that print, which is why I decided to purchase it. And I purchased it with the intention of framing it and putting it up on my wall rather than me wearing it. The last couple of silk items are in their little boxes here. I did a haul of these, so I'm just going to run through them really quickly. One of them is another Twilly. It is in that Jungle Love print again, but for Valentine's Day they came out with a Jungle Love Love version because the other side it has hearts on it. This is a Twilly that is waiting for its new handbag. Basically, I am hopeful to add another bag to my collection this year, so I plan on leveraging this this Twilly for that bag. And the last silk item is in this cute heart box, and it is the heart-shaped pocket square that I am still trying to figure out additional ways to wear, but so far I love having it. It's just so cute to look at, but I will be figuring out more ways to wear it in the warmer months. The last category for me is going to be homeware. Homeware and home decor is an area that I feel like I'm slowly expanding into, as you can see with the Chanel pillow. But first and foremost, I have the Avalon blanket here. It is the full-size Avalon blanket, the cashmere blend with the gray, beige, and white combination. I picked it up in 2019 at the Waikiki boutique. I think this tricolor style with the extra stripes is still more of a classic style that they will come out with every year. But the color combos might change a little bit. I had only seen this tricolor last year, but I also hadn't been that deep looking into all of the Avalon blankets until last year. So I've seen solid, they're not fully solid, but I've seen two tones. So it's like a white and a gray, a white and an orange, white and burgundy, white and navy. Like I've seen those where when it's all opened up, there's like a white border, and then there's like the main color in the corners, and in the main there's like a rectangle in the middle. That's the most classic style that I had seen, and I was aware of that coming out in many different colors. 2019 was the first time I saw it in this tricolor version. Earlier this year when I went to the Hermes boutique, I saw that there were some other tones that came out as well that are also pretty. So I know they do switch it up a bit, but this is definitely my favorite colorway. Totally biased, but it's my favorite colorway, hence why I have that one. I know there are child versions, like children's blankets that come out as well. They're a little bit smaller. They're still pretty large. I would consider them to be like a throw size rather than this full-size blanket, but hands down, absolutely love it. My boyfriend and I love kind of snuggling up in it while we're watching TV or watching a movie. It's very comfortable, and I think I mentioned in another video where it is one of those items where there's a very nice weight to it. So it almost feels like it's a weighted blanket. Not quite, because it isn't actually weighted, but because it isn't so just light and just feels like nothing, it has some weight to it that it feels like you feel like you're kind of being comforted by the soft, warm blanket. So if you're interested, I would definitely recommend it. And the last home item I have is actually this little Circus round box here. This was part of, I believe, the children's home section as well, because last year Hermes came out with a whole like children's eating wear, like plates, cups, and things like that. I think they were for kids because they had all the circus animals on them. There's a blue colorway and a pink colorway, so this is clearly the pink one. And inside I just put some confetti and some random SD cards and things like that. But at the bottom there is a tiger on a circus ball. Now it doesn't make sense that I said I'm not a huge cat person, because all my things from Hermes have cats on them. But this is just a homeware piece. Honestly, I like to use it on my desk, and like it holds random knickknacks like SD cards, USBs, little things that kind of get scattered all over the desk. I just decided to put them all inside, and I just really like this piece. It makes me happy every time I look at it, so I just like having this on my desk. I just realized that I forgot to include an item. It is the Waikiki limited edition straw hat, the like raffia hat that I picked up from the Waikiki boutique in 2019 as well. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I look forward to wearing it again this summer. All right, so that's everything. That is my entire Hermes collection. I am really excited with the collection that I have built out so far. You can definitely tell my Hermes collection has different elements running through it compared to like my Chanel collection. It definitely has a lot more color, and it definitely is a bit smaller, but those Hermes prices, yo, like they really get you. I don't really consider myself to be an overly colorful person, but yeah, when I look at my Hermes collection, I see that there's a lot of color running through it. And I was trying to figure out why that might be the case. I think part of it is because I started building out, like, especially my handbag collection, I started building that out in Chanel, and I was having a lot more of those classic, you know, black, darker colors like blues from my Chanel collection. And maybe because I already had those pieces, I was okay adding more color when it came to Hermes later down the road. I also think Hermes does some gorgeous colors. I mean, they have very gorgeous neutrals as well, don't get me wrong. And I still hope to add a more neutral tone handbag to my collection. But there's just something about the rich colors that Hermes do in their handbags and how they translate into all the different leathers that I think I'm definitely drawn to a lot more of those colors rather than sticking to like an entirely neutral palette. But yeah, I'm not upset that my Hermes collection is colorful. I think that in combination with my Chanel collection makes it all very robust, and I'm able to, you know, have some of that color, have some of those neutrals, and work with all of the colors that I have today. Hermes ready to wear isn't quite a space that I have entered just yet. I also don't know if I really will in the near future, but I won't say never. I'm sure I will find some pieces that I feel like definitely stand out and are it's something that I want to add to my collection, but so far I haven't really been able to find that. I think for me and where I am in my style right now, I feel like the Chanel ready to wear and the Dior ready to wear are some of the areas that I am able to incorporate more seamlessly into my wardrobe. Which item was your favorite? You can pick your favorite from each category, or you can pick your favorite overall, but let me know which item stood out the most to you. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you have any questions on any of these items or really anything at all, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video and you like collection videos in general, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Sunday. So until next time, bye!